Welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Confessions. This is the podcast where we say the quiet things out loud. Now, as you can see, different background, different location, and I am currently really struggling with the idea of where I want to record, what I want my background to be. And given the time of year it is so difficult to have natural bright light coming in, right? For example, today it's glorious, it's sunny, it's bright, but I'm at home, I'm working from home, I still have a 9 to 5, I'm still a corporate slave, unfortunately. So this is something that I need to do alongside my actual obligations, my contractual obligations that I still have, which is great. I'm not gonna mock it, because who doesn't like a steady income? I do. I really do. So my background is a bit different today. I'm not in my usual spot, which is my friend's apartment, or a actual studio where I have recorded in before. Now, I do want to have a fixed studio for BGC. I do want a fixed background that we see every single week, just for consistency, because your girl loves consistency, right? I love being in the same place over and over again. It just adds to the brand. It adds to the layer of, officialness of BGC. But let's not ramble on too long, because I love a long intro where I natter on for days and days and days, and we ain't got the time for that, because I actually also have to do my job today. So let's not do that. Today's episode is the 29 life lessons I have learned by the age of 29. Now, I do want to preface that some of these life lessons I have learned the hard way. Some of these life lessons have been knocked into me, drilled into me, slapped into me. Some I have loved learning, some I needed to learn, some I just picked up along the way. Some of these lessons aren't necessarily lessons that I've gone through myself, but I have seen others go through this. I have seen others having to learn this lesson, and it's a great thing to have people around you that go through different adversities, because I'm not saying that trauma is great, but I'm saying it has its perks, because then you know what to avoid, then you know what not to do, or who not to be around. Because if I see X person going through something because of somebody else, I now know to avoid that person at all cost, right? So I know that in life, you pick up different lessons because people around you go through different lessons. They go through different adversities. They go through different problems. And these are all great things to learn about, to pick up on, and then implement in your own life. So that's what this is about. So without further ado, let's go into the 29 lessons I've learned by the age of 29, because it's been 29 long trips around the sun. Your girl's tired, and it's only the beginning. Lesson 1. Your childhood shapes you, but it doesn't define you, which is so true, right? You are more than what's happened to you. You are more than the trauma that's been inflicted on you, right? And I'm not saying don't acknowledge it. I'm not saying don't deal with it, don't talk about it, don't vent about it, don't go to therapy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, this horrible, awful thing has happened to you, and I am very sorry that that's happened to you, but do not let that define the rest of your life. Do not let that shape what the rest of your life is going to look like. Because if you dwell in the past, if you dwell on the hurt, if you dwell on all of the shortcomings you've had when you were growing up, it is going to alter the life that you are going to live moving forward, right? What kind of life are you going to live? Life is going to go right by you. It's going to go right past you. And I'm not saying don't work through it, like I said. I'm not saying don't acknowledge it. Absolutely acknowledge it, but do not let it alter and shape the remainder of your life, because you still have a beautiful life to live. And what a shame it would be to dwell and wallow in self-pity and sadness. You're destined for more. You're destined for more. And don't forget, you are allowed to become somebody that your younger self would have never imagined you were going to be, right? You're allowed to rewrite your story. What happened to you doesn't define you. Go create a new narrative for yourself and go live your best life. Go be that person you've always wanted to be. This is the fresh start that you've always been looking for. The rest of your life is the fresh start that you need. Period. Number 2. You need to make peace with the unpeaceful childhood that you've had. And I think that's such a sad concept, like to think about that there are children in this world who are currently going through a very unpeaceful, unsettling childhood, right? Or there are people that have had very unsettled childhoods that have lived through chaos, trauma, drama, you name it. It's very sad to think that those things happen and have happened. Being emotional about it and then healing from it does not mean you validate what has happened to you. It doesn't mean that you basically give it the stamp of approval. It just allows you to move on from it. Once you have made peace with it, once you have understood why things have happened, and even if you don't understand why things have happened, because some things are just unexplainable, right? Like why mothers treat their children like shit. I could never understand, because you actually chose to have me. You carried me for 9 months and then you treated me like utter shit. Like some of those things don't compute with me. So you don't have to understand, because I feel like sometimes when you try to understand things as well, you let it, or you kind of give it more power than it needs to have. If you make peace with it, you talk through it, you understand from your point of view why this has shaped your life, why this has happened to you, you then can let it go. You have then decided this no longer serves me purpose and I'm letting go. You're not validating what's happened. You're not rationalizing what has happened, but you're letting it go so you don't have emotional baggage anymore. You're letting it go so you can just move on with your beautiful life and your beautiful self. Number 3, you can unlearn chaos. And this is something I always say, right? Every choice you make is going to affect the outcome in your life, right? So if you've had a childhood where you were living in chaos and you never knew when the other shoe was going to drop, and it was always just one thing after another, and it was never settled, and it was crazy, and it was dramatic, and it was trauma filled, right? You are going to familiarize the chaos. You are going to get really familiar with that feeling of being unsettled. You're never going to realize that that unsettling feeling is bad, because it's all you've ever known. So if you carry that response into your later adulthood, if you carry that later on into life, you are going to sit with chaos. You're going to attract chaos. You're going to want to be around chaos. Why? Because it feels familiar. It feels loving. It feels like home. Really and truly, if we're being honest, chaos is going to start to feel like home, because it's all you've ever known, it's all you've ever been around, and it's what you've seen your loved ones be around. So if you unlearn chaos, and if you actively choose to sit with the uncomfortable, right, if you sit with the unknown, if you sit with all of these brand new feelings, I guarantee you your life will turn out to be so much better. Why? Because progress and growth comes from being uncomfortable. Progress and growth comes from being in uncomfortable situations, comes from being in scenarios where you don't know what the outcome is going to be, where you don't know how you're going to feel about it. Progress comes from being in an unideal situation, right? Jumping in head first, jumping in feet first. That's where progress comes from. That's where growth comes from. And I think what kills us, what kills your career, what kills your creativity, is being in an environment where chaos is keeping you down, where chaos is keeping you safe, where chaos is keeping you grounded, because it's all you've ever known. And I think you need to unlearn those behaviors. You're going to live a much better life once you realize that you don't need to sit with chaos, because it's not serving you anything. It's not serving you looks. It's not serving you dinner. It's not serving you money. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Lesson 4. Trauma does not need to spill into every corner of your life. You're allowed to live a softer life than you have lived through, right? You're allowed to want more for yourself. You're allowed to use tools in your life that will actively work through the trauma. You don't have to sit with this feeling of trauma, because again, it's a safe feeling, because again, it's all you've ever known. You're allowed to want more for yourself. And I think very often as women, when we go through something quite traumatic, it's very hard to believe that you deserve more. It's very hard to believe that you can desire for more. It's very hard to believe that you are allowed to do more, right? Whether you want a better life for yourself, a softer life for yourself, a new career or education, if you come from a background or a childhood where so many things have happened to you through no fault of your own, trauma is going to be seeping out of your pores. It's going to be within you, is going to be coming out of you. You're allowed to go to therapy. You're allowed to work on yourself. You're allowed to use tools that you have learned from therapy and actively break down that trauma. You don't have to sit with it. Nobody's giving you a gold star for soldiering through pain. Nobody's going to give you a gold star for being traumatized. And let me tell you something. Traumatized people, hurt people, hurt people. Okay? And we don't want to be around those people. So you got to work on yourself, baby. You got to work on yourself. In order for us to love you, you need to work on yourself, because we're not going to deal with that. We're not going to deal with that. And we don't need to. And most importantly, you don't need to. Okay? Lesson 5. Womanhood is not a burden, it's our superpower, right? Let that sink in. Womanhood is not a burden. We are great. Aside from God, we procreate, we bring life into this world, right? We repopulate the world. We do everything for everyone because that's our role. And we do it effortlessly. We do it seamlessly. We do it so casually. We give birth, we go back to work, we cook, we clean. What does the opposite gender do other than half make a kid with you, right? For 1 second of fun. Other than that, what does the man do? What does he actually contribute? Nothing. You've grown this child. You've cooked it in your body for 9 months, wrecked your body in the process, let it come out of you, wreck your body once again, then be traumatized from birth because sometimes birth doesn't go very well. But we need to stop looking at womanhood as if it's a burden, as if it's something traumatic, as if it's something crazy, because we have been told our whole lives that that's how it is, and it's not. Don't let the misogynist tell you that being a woman isn't cool. Don't let a misogynist tell you that being a woman isn't great. We hold the world together. We feed the people. We repopulate the earth. We literally grow life. We create life. Don't let the misogynist shrink any of our responsibilities, any of our shine. Do not let them tell you that you're not a superwoman. Number 6, don't let gender assign you your role. As a woman, right, as a 29-year-old woman, I can shapeshift into whatever I want to be. If I want to be a CEO, I can be a CEO. If I want to be a cook, I can be a cook. If I want to be an artist, I can be one. If I want to be all of the above, I can be one. If I want to be a stay-at-home mother, I can be one. If I want to be the president, I can be one. If I want to be prime minister, I can be one. If I want to do nothing and be a bum, I can be one. Why? Because my gender does not define my role within this life, right? And very often society pushes these narratives on you. You can only be a wife, right? You're only valued if a man chooses you, and you're only valuable when you have repopulated this world. We have got enough babies. This world is crowded. We're at like almost 8 billion people, if not already. We don't need more kids. We need more CEOs. We need more female founders. We need more female business owners. We need more female presidents. We've never had one. We have never in the history of ever had a female president in America. Why? Because the misogynists do not let your gender dictate what you're going to do. You can be everything at once or nothing at all. But the main thing is, it's up to you to decide what you're going to be. Number 7 is a very easy, very, very, very easy life lesson. No is a full sentence. No means no. I can say no now, change my mind in 5 minutes and say yes, and then change it back to no. And it still stands. No means no. My boundaries are my boundaries and they're going to be respected. And I think that's a very tricky thing to learn because so often all of these relationships within our lives depend on you not saying no. It depends on you being palatable, easygoing, and always just going with the flow. So within families, if you've always said yes and then you suddenly learn the power of no, you're going to be a difficult person. Suddenly nobody can walk all over you. Suddenly you're not the doormat anymore. In relationships, if something doesn't serve you anymore and you say no, suddenly that's going to be an issue because you've always said yes. Why are you saying no today? Why do you suddenly have a backbone? Why do you suddenly have opinions? Because I do and because I can. Do you know what I mean? So no means no. And that is a full sentence. Being assertive does not make you bitchy, does not make you passive aggressive, does not make you aggressive, period. As a woman, when you know your worth, when you know what you want, when you're confident and you know, when you have confidence in your conviction, when you know what you want and you're not taking no for an answer, it scares people. People don't know how to treat you because they don't know what they're going to get from you. When you're unpredictable, right? When you know what serves you and what doesn't serve you, people are going to find you difficult because they don't know how to deal with you. They can't put you in this little cute, neat box that they have for the women in their lives because you know your worth. You know what you're going to put up with and what not. And you know what? If you're dealing with weak people in your life, then yes, you're going to be bitchy, you're going to be aggressive, you're going to be nasty, but you're not. You're simply stating what you want. And the beautiful thing is, if a man was assertive, you'd be like, wow, look at him. He's taken charge. He's such a leader. What a champ. If a woman does it, what a fucking bitch. What a bitch. She's so rude. She's so nasty. And, and at least I get it done. At least I get it done. So be assertive. Stand in your power. No means no. Lesson 9. Womanhood is defined by more than a ring or motherhood, right? Your value doesn't come from you being picked by a dusty man because he gave you a ring. Your value doesn't come from you procreating and bringing life into this earth. Your value comes from you being a good human being, by being a lovable person, by actively contributing to society, right? In a good, positive way, by making a positive impact. That's how we measure you by. That's how we value you. But your actual value as a woman does not come from a shiny ring, does not come from how many kids you can bring into this crusty world. That's not it. And society has these rules and regulations in place for women, that you're only valuable if you're picked by a man. You're only seen as complete once you have a ring on your finger and you've had kids. That's not the case. You are more than that. You are destined for more than that. Not every single woman dreams of a white picket fence, a house in the suburban area, and 17 different kids. Not every woman dreams of that. Some have different dreams. Lesson 10, and this is an important lesson. You don't need to be man obsessed. I have seen this time and time again. Women who only prioritize men in their life, whose sole focus in life is to be around men, to fulfill men's desires and needs and wants. What about your own? What about your own? These men that you're pumping so much energy and effort into will leave one day. And then what have you got for yourself? What have you created for yourself? What have you built for yourself? Your life can be rich, joyful, fulfilled, full to the max without a man in it. You can achieve so much without a man in it. Just remember, you are a whole person before this man enters it. Lesson number 11 goes hand in hand. Don't romanticize men. Take them for face value. Trust patterns. Don't trust feelings. He could tell you how he feels all day long, but do you see patterns? Do you see behaviors? Do you see actions? They tell you a lot more than what his words are telling you, right? Because he could whisper sweet nothings all day long, right? Caress you with his words. But is he coming through and fulfilling his promises? Is he doing what he said he was going to do? Is he a man that actually holds on to his promises and fulfills them? Don't romanticize them. Romanticize your own life. Make sure that you are happy, fulfilled, content before you let a man come in and ruin your life. Number 12, always have your own money. Always try and be financially independent. Now, I know that this is such a blanket statement because the current affairs of the world are making it incredibly difficult for people to be financially independent, especially for women. What I want to really reiterate and drive home is that I want you to be independent in every sense of the way, right? I want you to have your backup money, have a purse full of money, make sure that you can buy yourself what you need. You don't have to depend on the man for it, right? You don't want to have to beg him for something. You need to make sure that you're in control of your own purse. You need to make sure that you have the ability to buy yourself what you need when you need. Independence is not an option, ladies. It's necessary, and we need to get with it. We need to get with it as soon as possible. Number 12, never beg a man for anything you can get yourself. Never beg a man for anything you can get yourself. Let that sink in. Give it to yourself twice, thrice, in 3 different colors if you have to. Right? You never need to depend on a man for your own necessities. I'm telling you, make sure that you are independent in that regard. If he decides to walk away tomorrow, if infidelity happens, if the marriage breaks down, the relationship breaks down, the situationship breaks down, and you are left with nothing, what are you going to do? Do you know how difficult it is to build yourself back up in this economy? The current cost of living does not allow women to be as independent as possible. The job market is crashing, housing not available. What are you doing to ensure that you're independent for yourself? Really think about that. We don't need to trust a man. We can do it ourselves. It might be hard, it might be difficult, it might be lonely, but we can do it. Being career focused is not masculine. It's sexy. It's beautiful. It is confident. It is everything and more. Knowing what you want from your life and going for it full throttle, being ambitious, is not manly. It's not manly. I guess that term masculine and manly has come from the fact that back in the day, only the men were allowed to be ambitious that way. Only the men were allowed to really have drive and a career. But times have changed. Us women, we can be as masculine as we want or as feminine as we want. But having a career, being ambitious, wanting more for yourself, nothing masculine about that. It's an actual God-given right to want more for yourself. Go get the life that you deserve. Go get the life that you want and go create that for yourself. Because don't forget, you will not get anything handed to you. You might say, I want to do it, but I want to do it isn't going to get you it. You have to go and do it. And this next lesson goes hand in hand with it. Find your passion and pursue it loudly. Speak it into the universe. Manifest it. Pray about it. Ensure that you find a way to actually fulfill your desires and your passions. If you want a career in like arts or fashion or I don't know, the news or Hollywood or whatever it might be, or the medical field or the corporate world, pursue it. Find a way to make it happen. Your dreams don't need to be palatable or digestible for anybody. Dream so big, so wild, so crazy that people look at you sideways and say, that's never going to happen. The sky is not even the limit. There's more to it than the sky. There's space. Dream so big, so crazy that it knocks you sick, and then go and get it. Because everyone out here is pursuing their dreams. Everybody out here has career passions or career goals that they want to achieve. Actively go and find your passion. This lesson is a beautiful lesson I've had to learn the hard way over and over again, that confidence will take you a lot further than being a perfectionist. And I can relate to this 100%. Once you kind of switch this thing in your brain and you realize that as long as you own it and you're happy to make mistakes and you want to learn and you're hungry for it and you're confident in making strides and you're confident in moving forward in your dreams and goals, because pursuing your dreams is scary. It's the unknown. You don't know the outcome. You don't know if you're going to make it. You don't know when you're going to make it. You don't know if you're going to make it, right? So being confident in those choices when you own the room is beautiful. It's where the magic happens. If you're a perfectionist and you wait until you have the perfect lighting, the perfect camera, the perfect microphone, you're never going to start. If you start with whatever you have and you make it work and people can see your passion, they can see your drive, they can see your tenacity for wanting to create something magical, that is all you need. That's all you need. A big cup of confidence and tenacity and follow through and initiative and persistence. That's all you need. So even when you're scared, just jump confidently. Jump like you know you're going to land on your 2 feet. Jump like you know you have a safety blanket underneath your feet, like you know you have a mattress that's going to soften your landing. Do what you're going to do scared, but do it with confidence because you know it's going to work out for you. Why wouldn't it work out for you? You are the only one that can make your dreams work. You're the only one that can bring your specific talent to the stage. Nobody else is you. I could never do what Tom, Dick and Harry does or do because I'm not Tom, Dick or Harry. Do you know what I mean? I am Zainab. I'm Z. I can do what I can do. They can do what they can do. So go and do what you want to do. Do it scared. Do it happy. Do it sad. I don't care what you're feeling. Just do it. Never dim your light for a man, a manager, or a mediocre environment. Very often when you dream big, when you dream bright, when your dreams are so crazy that it makes other people uncomfortable, they will talk you down from that ledge. They will tell you that's crazy. Don't do it. Oh, you want to be a content creator, but there's so many of them out there already. It's going to be so difficult to be a content creator. Don't do it. It's not a vibe. It's not this. It's not that. It's not. They will find a way to dim your light. Don't shrink for anyone. Don't feel embarrassed to voice your opinion. Don't feel embarrassed to talk about your dreams. Don't feel embarrassed to pursue your passions. Don't let them make you think this much of yourself. Don't let them make you feel this much about your dream. Your dreams are your dreams. You need to go and pursue them, and don't shrink that light for anybody, because Misery loves company. If I know I'm not doing anything with my life, I'm going to try very hard to make sure that the next person isn't doing anything with their life. I will ensure that we're all bums together, right? And that's how the world works. It's not something I would actually do, but that's how the world works. Misery loves company. So if you confide in the wrong people and if you tell them about your dreams, they're going to make sure that you're going to shrink yourself, that you don't pursue those dreams, that you don't pursue your ambitions, because they want to make sure that you don't actually go and do it. They don't. People don't root for you. As much as they say, oh, I want you to win, you're my best friend, I want you to do well, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. This is a good one for all the younger girls out there. I have always said that a university degree is not an end all be all. You don't need it. Do I think it's handy? Absolutely, but you don't need it. If you have a vision, if you have a plan, if you have clarity on where you're going in your life, then that's all you need. If you know for a fact you're going to make it without a university degree, you know for a fact you can achieve your dreams without spending 3 years in an institution that's going to give you a little piece of paper that is overpriced, then go and do that. And that's coming from a girl who has 2 degrees. I did an undergrad, then I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, so I bought myself 12 more months and did a master's. That was me. And now I'm pursuing a career in creativity. I am running my own business. I have a podcast. I do social media. So you never know where life takes you. Number 19, religion is personal. Spirituality is personal. The relationship you have with God is between you and God. However strong that may be, if you need to work on it, you need to work on it. If you don't need to work on it, you don't need to work on it. But what I do know is that spirituality is so powerful, and spirituality is personal, right? That journey is a one-on-one, it's a 1v1. Take pride in learning who you are and where you come from, right? As a POC girly, you always have to remember, I'm in a Western country. This is not where I'm from. So actively taking trips back home, understanding, your roots, understanding where you come from, learning the mother language, learning the mother tongue is so important, right? If you want to. I'm not saying it's a must for everybody. I'm saying if you wanted to, it's a beautiful thing. You absolutely should pursue it. You absolutely should give it a go, because it's nice to know where you're from. When things go tits up and you're feeling insecure and you're confused about your place in life and you're confused about your place in this world, you know that you have a place where you belong. This is a lesson I've had to learn over and over again. Wear your hijab proudly, loudly, boldly. We live in a world where they want to see you take it off. We live in a world where they want to see you not wear it. We live in a world where they want to judge you for how you wear it, right? But the hijab is such a personal journey. It's such a tricky dynamic and it's such a tricky relationship to have. And I think it really just resembles what stage of life you're in, right? Religion and your iman, your spirituality level goes up and down. Sometimes your cup is full, half full, or empty, right? And who are we to judge? As long as you have intention, as long as you find beauty in it, as long as you find your passion behind it, wear it loudly, wear it boldly, wear it proudly, be happy to wear it. If that's not the stage of life you're in, that's absolutely fine. Figure out what you need to do, figure out what's going to get you there, speak to people that do wear it. I think there's so much power in the hijab. I think there's so much beauty in the hijab. And that's not me coming at the people that don't wear it. I think you either wear it or you don't wear it for so many different reasons. And we're all on this earth going through so many different things. So if you do decide to wear it, yay. If you don't decide to wear it, I hope you get there. But for those that do wear it proudly. Heal the wounds before they spill into the rest of your life, right? And I always say this, that childhood trauma happened in your childhood, but your adulthood is the rest of your life. It's the remainder of your life until you're in the ground. So if you don't heal that, if you don't heal the trauma, it's going to spill into the best part of your life, which is when you're an adult, when you can make these choices for yourself. So if you don't resolve any of the issues that you have, it's going to drastically alter what the rest of your life is going to look like. It's going to drastically change the relationships around you, because we live in a world where therapy is so easily accessible to people now. You can't outsmart, you can't outwork unhealed pain. The only way through it is through it. So heal that shit. before you ruin your life and somebody else's life. Please, for the love of God, heal it. Love yourself first. No one's going to love you the way you love yourself. You should be your very first love, right? Nobody is going to love you, and not in an aesthetic way, in a deep way where you like have these crazy proclamations for yourself. Love yourself physically, mentally, in the way you show up for yourself, in what you eat and how you exercise, in the people that you have around you. Because if you don't love yourself, you're setting an example of how others should treat you. You're letting others know that this is a standard I have for myself. You don't need to go above that. Below it's just fine, because I treat myself like a piece of shit anyway. You can treat me like a piece of shit. Why not? Let's do it together. That's literally what you're saying. So love yourself first. Heal yourself first. People come into your life for a reason and a season. People are not meant to be in your life forever. People are not meant to be in your life all the time. People come in to teach you a lesson. People come in for a specific season in your life. People are there to witness your wins. People are there to witness your losses. And that's okay. Once you realize that life is a revolving thing, it's like a revolving door for people. Some people you stick with, some people are there for chapters, and some people should have never been there in the first place. And life is beautiful because it teaches you lessons at every single milestone in your life. At every single season you have, you learn new things. And that's when you realize that, yes, I might have started this season with a group of people, but I didn't end the season with the same group of people because I outgrew them. And that's absolutely fine. You can outgrow people the same way you outgrow different phases of your life. And that's okay. I have no problem leaving people behind. I have no problem cutting people off, because if you no longer serve me, you no longer serve me and the mission that I'm on. And that's okay. That's okay. Adulthood is terrifying, but also the most exciting chapter of your life, right? It is, like I said, unlike your childhood, adulthood is the rest of your life. You can redefine yourself. You can reinvent yourself. You can rewrite your story. You can be the person you've always wanted to be, live the life you've always wanted to live, see the people you've always wanted to be, live in the places you've always wanted to live. Like, you can truly become the person you've always wanted to be. And it's so exciting. You get to rewrite the story and have the ending you've always wanted to have. And that's what I love about adulthood, is we're all trying to figure it out, and we all are trying to be the very best person we can be. So go and do it. Reinvention is a skill, right? Reinventing yourself is a skill, is a skill that you master. Changing who you are, your environment, your jobs, it's brave. It takes work, it takes dedication, it takes energy, it takes effort. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So go reinvent yourself as many times as you want, as many times as you need. You don't have to be the same person you were yesterday. If that no longer serves you, go be a new person. Go be the next person. Go be the person you were last week. Reinvent yourself as many times as you want. Period. Date yourself, right? Date yourself to just love yourself. Learn about your love language, your needs, your wants, what you want from life, right? Date yourself. Don't date yourself. Don't date for love. Don't date for marriage. Don't date for kids. Date to just enjoy life. Dating is data. What you like, what you don't like, what you're going to settle for, what you're definitely not going to settle for. Dating is wise. What I can recommend people in 2025, especially women, is dates. So you can find out who people are, what their intentions are, and what they want to do. It's the best thing. Have an Excel spreadsheet. Figure out who you want to be with. Figure yourself out. You learn so much about yourself through dating. So date until your heart's content. Lesson 28. You're not behind. No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter how old you are, whether that's 21, 24, 25, 29, you're not behind. You are right where you're supposed to be, right? I feel like society especially tells women that you have a timeline, that you need to be a mum by a certain age, be married by a certain age, right? For example, with marriage, if you are a girl who gets to 30 and you're not married, God forbid, something's completely wrong with you. You are damaged goods. Nobody's going to love you. Nobody's going to want to marry you. Same goes for women who were married and then got divorced. You're damaged goods. Nobody's going to marry you again. Why did you get married? What is wrong with you? So really, there is no real There's no like linear line here. You can't do anything right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, damned if you did it and you didn't like it and you dipped. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. You're never too old to start over again. You're never too old to pursue your passions. You're never too old to pursue what you want from life. And that leads me perfectly to the final life lesson. Follow your dreams. Chase those dreams. You only get one shot at this thing called life. You only get to do it once. And when you're done, when it's game over for you, you don't get to rewind and do any of it again. And you certainly do not want to be on your deathbed thinking, I wish I had pursued that career. I wish I had pursued that person. I wish I loved that person more. I wish I said this more. I wish I was more free. I wish I was more creative. Do what fills your cup up, right? Chase your dreams. Chase your dreams. Like, that's literally all I can say about this. And I think that's a huge life lesson for me, especially now that I'm 29 and I'm pushing on to 30 very, very soon. Let me know what you want to see next week, what topics you want me to discuss. Please do leave comments down below. And I just love chatting to you guys. I really do. It's so therapeutic for me. I absolutely love it. And if you've loved this episode, please do let me know. And if you're listening to this thinking, my God, I needed this, good. It was made exactly for you. It was made for me. It was made for you. It was made for anybody that's willing to listen to this. And I'm so happy that we're finally at a place where we can tell each other what we need to hear. And I can then go ahead and create an episode about it for you, which I'm delighted by, because I love constructive feedback. I need to know exactly where you guys are at so I can cater to your needs. And I'm chronically online. Like, I try and keep it as relevant as possible always. And remember that the 20s are not a straight line. You're meant to lose yourself. You're meant to love. You're meant to grieve. You're meant to go through heartbreak. You're meant to reinvent yourself. You're meant to have so many different things happen to you that is going to create a multifaceted individual, a person with depth and range and the ability to love, but also leave if it no longer serves you. Like, your 20s are for self-discovery. They are for fuck-ups. They are for happy memories. They are for love. They're for struggle. They're for financial burden, but also financial success. They are for just exploring the world in the best way possible. I will see you fuckers next Monday. Bye.